Okay, this is year 2. We got our new nuke last week, and I did a little bit of an inspection earlier in the week and saw some irregular looking comb. So I want to come back in and do a more thorough inspection today. You may be able to see in the background there by the pool I have another brood box to go on if indeed some of that brood is hatched and it's ready to go in. But we're just going to take a look and see what we see and go from there. First we'll make sure we're all gloved up. And we'll take off the lid of the flow hive there. See a lot of activity on the top. I'm just going to lean this up there so the bees can make their way back. Likewise, I don't really need this on right now, the queen excluder, but I just put it on so that I know exactly where it is and things don't get lost. Looks like in the 2 days since I looked at this last, they've been able to seal the lid up, which is great. They're active, they're busy, what they're supposed to be. You can see a lot of activity on there, which is fantastic. I'm just going to lay that down right next to where I'm standing. Very calm today, but we're going to give them a little smoke anyway, just to get them off the frames there at the top. I'm going to scrape that comb off the top, just to make sure they're not, building too much of that where it's not supposed to be. And we'll just put that into the compost over here. Alright, let's get down to business and check out these frames. There seems to be a lot more activity in the hive than there was just the other day. It could be because I'm earlier in the day and they just haven't gotten out and about yet. But let's have a look at some of these frames. Here's the girls. Obviously they do not like it when you're poking around at them. Now that's a frame full of honey that I put in from last year, and they're just in there cleaning it up, which is great. Busy as bees, as you would. I'm going to put this one down so that I have room to access the others. Just gently against the lid here. Let them do their thing. Oh, that was a little bit of a misnomer there. Let's look at the second frame. A little more smoke. They're starting to get a little ornery, as you would expect. If somebody's poking around in your home, you're going to get a little ornery too. A little for the frames, a little for me. Excuse me, ladies. And there's another frame of honey. Both sides there. They're really busy on the one side, which is great. A lot less honey on that side. You can see there's a number of drones on here, and I don't know if you can actually see, but let's try to give you a close-up. You can see the drones are bigger bees. See if you can pick them out there. I'm not sure if it's in frame or not, but I'm trying my best. It's very bright out here today, sunshine. But I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe a dozen or so drones on that frame. But everything looks okay there, assuming those drones are cool and they're allowed to be there, which I'm assuming they are, but maybe you know different and maybe you could tell me in the comments. But I think this time of year drones are perfectly legitimate to find in the hive. So here's another one. This was an empty frame that I put in there. Empty of honey, that is. There was comb on there already pulled from last year. And I see a couple of drones on here, not as many as on the last one. And it looks like there's capped brood on this side, which is great. I'd like to see that. Very good. Let's take the next one out here. A lot of brace chrome in between some of these guys. A lot of capped stuff here, which is good. They're working away at that honey. A couple of pieces down below, but they look like regular cells. They're just building because of space. On this side, however, there's a lot of bumpy stuff. So I'm going to give you a close-up of that because I'd like your opinion as to what that might be. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to get it in frame. So down the bottom there's some irregular shaped cells and all throughout there. Now I think they might be drone cells. I don't know, but if you have an opinion, if you know the answer to that, just let me know in the comments. That's what a little bit concerned me when I was looking at it the other day. It made me want to do a more thorough inspection. And I think I see those on a number of the cells, but we'll find out in just a sec. Number of the frames rather. I'm going to pull them all out just to have a look at every one. And I'm going to need a little more smoke here. There's definitely enough bees in here that I think putting on that other box is going to be a good idea. Because I don't want them to get overcrowded. I don't want them to think, hey, we got a swarm. We've got to get out of here. There's not enough room in this house for us. Yeah, and on here, again, some normal shaped comb on the bottom, but there are some irregular shaped ones in the hive, on the frame. And on this one too. Again, I'll bring it up close. Both sides. You can see some more bulbous capped comb there. And I'm not exactly sure what that is. Again, I looked online yesterday and I noticed that they were drone cells, look a little bit like that. They don't look like queen cells because queen cells were quite a bit bigger. I mean, they took up a lot more space, maybe the size of 2 or 3 regular cells. They didn't just come outward, but they went sideways as well. So that's an interesting one. And this one they've braced to the next one quite a bit in the last 2 days, which is interesting that they work that fast, but good for them. And we'll take this one out. If there's anything different here, I'll bring it up to the camera. A lot of capped cells here, a lot of capped brood, which is great. I like to see that. And this side too, like a lot. Oh my goodness. There's going to be an explosion of bees here, which is good. I haven't seen the queen. I don't know where she is. Unfortunately, my queen isn't marked, so it's not easy to spot when you pull out a frame. You really have to look. But nothing unusual there. I mean, there's a couple of those bulbous cells on this side, but not very many at all. Those last 2 frames seem to be where that concentration of bigger stuff is. Oh, sorry, ladies. Glad I have this bee jacket, because otherwise I fear I would be getting stung copious amounts of time. Alright, let's look at the second to last one here. This is another frame of mostly honey when I put it in. Lots of nectar. Lots of nectar on there. On that side. And this side is capped honey, and that's a mostly full frame of capped honey, which is great, which probably allowed them to start a little quicker this year. Because the last year's hive died, it wasn't a starvation issue. I had a lot of honey in the frames. I was able to put some of those in with the nuke last week, which is good. That was the recommendation from the mentor down south there in Port Rowan. So this one, another full frame of honey, and they are having a good time with that. Let's get a better grip on it here. And On this side too, full frame of honey. They're just working it, cleaning it. Fantastic. So it's really just those two frames that have a number of enlarged cells, if you will, that I was concerned about, that I would love your opinion on. Come on ladies, out you get. Push all these back, put them in the same order that we found them in. And I'm going to go grab that second box because I think with all that brood in there, you saw it was a ton. I think in another few days, a week, it's just going to be an explosion of activity in this hive, and the numbers are going to go way, way up. And we need to have space for them to go. So there they are. Fantastic. Let me give them some smoke. Calm them down a bit. Let me give me some smoke. Try to get them off me. If I'm going to go into the backyard there, I don't really want a horde of bees following me. So we'll just back away. A couple of them are going to follow. This box, I got nine frames in it, as opposed to the 8 that were there previously, because 9 seem to fit. And sorry ladies, I probably got a couple of you there. Tongues out, come on. There you go. 9 frames of honey. Sorry, 2 frames of honey on the outside. Some pulled comb, half a frame, 3 frames of pulled comb, and 4 empty frames in the middle. So I looked online, and that's pretty much how they said to stagger it. There's a little bit of room in here. With the tool, I can get the frames out with 9 in there. You know, it's not. Of course, I'm not going to be able to do it when I'm on camera. It's not terribly difficult. There's lots of room in there. See, the bees are starting to filter up already, which is good. Investigate their new space. Hopefully the queen will come up there and do her job on that frame, on those frames. So, warm weather, lots of activity in the hive, which is fantastic. Lots of brood cells, brood frames, lots of honey. I did not see the queen, but again, she's not marked, so a little bit difficult to spot. And with all those brood, I have a hard time imagining that she's not in there laying. But lots of bees coming in with pollen too, and a few drones. I mean, I don't remember seeing drones last year, but I didn't, I was new then, and I didn't know the difference between drones and regular ones. I mean, it's very obvious once you see them, but when you're just looking at the hive for the first time, you just don't know. So hopefully those drones rather, are okay. You'll let me know if not. And you gave them some extra space. We'll see how they use that space over the course of the next week or so, and come back and do another inspection in 4 or 5 days, or what have you. See what's going on. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It wasn't too bad like I thought. I mean, the other day when I looked it up, I was a little concerned about the number of enlarged capped cells. But they're only on those 2 frames. There are quite a few of them, but they're only on those 2 frames. And I'd say, of all of the brood that I saw in there, the elongated ones are probably about 15-20% of the regular ones. You saw them on the camera there too, so you can tell me otherwise if you think I'm incorrect. But hopefully you enjoyed that. It's a beautiful day here. I think I'm going to go sit by that pool over there, read a book, or look online to see what we saw today. Good luck. Have a great day.